If you can hear me, please type out into the comments section that you can hear me okay. And I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I wanted to give all of you an important update about the stimulus negotiations. Let me tell you, first of all, what the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell proposed as recently as today. This was reported by CNBC in the past hour that the Senate Majority Leader wanted to do a basic aid package significantly smaller than the $908 billion, significantly smaller, but he wanted to essentially not discuss the open areas, meaning the state aid, the aid for state and local governments. And he also did not want to discuss some of the other important issues like liability protection for businesses, because he wanted to get something done before lawmakers, before Congress, the House and the Senate go on break. Remember, they're about to go on break. So what we have right now is we have a new update, a new announcement, and this was just reported by the Washington Post. And this reporting suggests that the White House is pushing Senate Republicans, the White House is pushing Senate Republicans to include $600 stimulus checks in the $908 billion stimulus relief package. Not $1,200 checks, but $600 checks. And the inclusion of these checks would increase the size of the bipartisan $908 billion package unless some other elements are removed. So quite interesting what's going on right now. And keep in mind, everybody, this is the proposal. This is a proposal from the White House right now, where the way things stand, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell actually wanted to do a basic package that did not include stimulus checks, that did not include aid for state and local, that did not include liability protection. But now the White House is actually saying, hey, let's do $600 stimulus checks. So that's the latest update. And basically what's happening is White House officials are asking Senate Republicans to include stimulus checks, $600 stimulus checks in the $908 billion bipartisan Senate relief plan that is currently being discussed. Keep in mind, we still don't have the outline of a bill yet. I have covered what's included in this plan in detail on our channel. It is going to include a $300 a week federal booster. And the $300 a week federal booster on top of state unemployment benefits is scheduled to go for 4 months starting the 1st of January. But basically, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell did not include a second round of stimulus checks in the relief proposal that he released last week. And Senate Republican leadership in Congress is listening to White House officials. So we could see, this is a big change, we could see stimulus checks. It's too soon to say, but we know that the White House is pushing for $600 stimulus checks. And President Trump has also privately, according to the reporting that we'll provide you with a link to all of our resources in the description section below, President Trump has privately indicated a willingness to send another round of stimulus checks as much as $2,000. Yep, as much as $2,000 according to our resource. By the way, we'll provide you with all of our resources in the description section below. Keep in mind that in March, we had a $1,200 stimulus check that was passed. A second round of stimulus checks were not originally in the $908 billion bipartisan package because basically it would have raised the cost substantially as far as many Republican senators were concerned. Now, keep in mind, Josh Hawley from Missouri, Republican from Missouri, Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been pushing for the checks to be included in the final package. So, basically Sanders went as far as to say that he would not vote for the package if it did not include a stimulus check. And Josh Hawley actually spoke with the president and asked the president to veto the bill if it did not include stimulus checks. And he said that the president was listening to him very intently. So it is possible that Hawley's conversation with the president, because the president was flying back from Georgia on Air Force One last weekend after a rally in Georgia, and he had a call with Josh Hawley from Missouri. It's quite possible that that conversation has convinced the president that hey, there have to be stimulus checks. So, that's what's going on right now. And right now, lawmakers are working furiously to come to some sort of a consensus because there's a lot of division about liability protection for businesses versus aid for state and local governments. So there's a lot of they're not agreeing to that. And basically a lot of aid programs are set to expire at the end of the month unless we have further legislation from Congress, meaning a bill that gets signed into legislation, that gets signed into law with the signature of the President of the United States. So right now, where things stand is that Congress is expected to approve a 1 week continuing resolution this week to avoid a shutdown of the government on the 11th of December, which is it's this week. It's in 3 days. Today is the 8th of December. So in 3 days, the government is going to shut down. So they have to take some action. And the question is, are they going to take that action along with a stimulus check? What it looks like right now is that they're going to agree to a 1 week extension, and then next week they'll work out something much more comprehensive. And a government on the way is $1.4 trillion, along with some stimulus, which may include stimulus checks now that the White House is pushing for it. And then we could see that before the lawmakers go on break for Christmas. So that is where things stand right now. There's definitely a lot of urgency in the negotiations right now because Susan Collins from Maine, one of the leaders of the $908 billion stimulus relief plan, acknowledged support for a second round of stimulus payments, but said that the efforts of the group were more narrowly focused to those in need. And here's a quote from Susan Collins. She said this to reporters today. I'm going to quote her, okay? I know there's considerable public support for it, but right now we are targeting struggling families, failing businesses, healthcare workers, and we published. This was an article that was just published, and I'll provide you with the references to the articles in the description section below. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them out into the live chat screen. I'll be happy to address them, and then I'll be happy to to address that. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you folks can hear me okay. I appreciate you all, and let's see. Hopefully, you folks can hear me okay. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.